morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. It is mandatory payout Sunday, and it's a beautiful day here in South Florida. We got a fast main track, Brian. We got an all-weather Topita, the turf course under maintenance, looking pretty sharp to me. A couple of weeks we'll be back on the turf, but the big news today is the mandatory payout. And Brian, you're one of the best at guessing what you think might be in it today, and of course we're always just guessing.
Yeah, I think I like this number, Ron. I think the carryover is 143,000, and they typically compute it at 8 or 9 times the carryover. And the fact that we're going to have a lot of eyes on us today, not that we wouldn't anyway, but I think that's only going to flatter it. So I'm looking forward to this, and I'm going to tell you what, we did that video yesterday. We've been saying it since we got here on Friday. Boy, you better put your hard hat on and get a few pens and pencils because it is not easy.
Not an easy sequence. It starts in race number 4 this afternoon. Brian and I both have some tickets.
And free PPs, too,
free
from the
PPs,
DRF.
That's right. Free PPs on the DRF. You could still go and jump on and get those. You actually get the whole card, and you could also get there you go, the 10 running lines. Very good. So just enough.
Pretty cool. They always
I like that part,
us.
the first part. Free.
Free.
That's
in
what
big,
I like.
bold letters. Anything. They always say nothing's free. Well, this is actually free.
Yeah, class power rate. You get
There
it
you
all.
go.
You get it all for absolutely nothing. So the first race today on the card is going to be a sprint at 5 furlongs on the Topita. The claim is fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. Going to scratch the 3, My Lady James. And Brian, as always, puts a good early pick 5 ticket together. Let's take a gander.
Take a look at it here. Race number 2. I've got the 3. Excuse me, I'm still thumbing back to Saturday, Ronnie, because it was the same $48 ticket. Race 3. Well, I do have the 3 anyway, so how about that? That was a little weird. Mo Light Now, newcomer for Jenna Antonucci. Kind of interesting to me. Race 3. Just that 3-horse field, so Giant Teddy at a giant favoritism. Wow. Yeah. Race 4, I've got the 5. That kicks off the rainbow. I think it's a spread race. Shebue.
Shebuy's
on top.
I'm going to write that down again.
Ronnie's got it now. Shebue.
Yeah, Shebue.
Yep. Former Kentucky player. I don't know if he's in the NBA or not. And race number 5, I'm on the inside. Fernando Abreu on a horse that worked really big on the Topita, the one Dancing Miracle. I have no idea if they're going to bet her or not. Big scratch.
Yeah. Sunny and Peaches.
Sunny and Peaches. I think a lot of people might have singled to kick off the rainbow if they wanted to be aggressive. Well, that's
I bumped I put your one up.
You did? Okay.
I had gone race 5. I had gone 4 deep in there with that Sunny and Peaches when it added your one.
All right.
Well, we'll show you those tickets a little later on when we get to race number 4. But first race today, Reg just started, Brian. Did you use Misprint and Breezy Bella?
I think you have to.
Yeah, so got the video?
I think you kind of – we're going to show you this video. And Ronnie asked, did you use Misprint and Breezy Bella? I said, yes, I did. And I think you have to use them in that order, Ron.
Right.
Because I'm sorry if Misprint, who was a voided claim last time, by the way, and we don't know why, but if Breezy Bella – who was the voided claim, couldn't win right
now, with
now,
the lead,
Ron,
setting the pace. Yeah.
Right. Why would she beat Misprint today? And we do see it on the Topita time and time again. Fortunes change in the span of one race, but what more would Carlos David want than what Breezy Bella is doing right here? And that is freewheeling on her own off the far turn, and you're going to lose by a full length? It's tough to come up with a scenario of why she turned the tables today, Ron.
It's our old buddy Edgar Zayas this afternoon. But the Misprint, certainly, I'm agreeing with Brian. I'm going to show you a stat with David Forks. This is second after the claim with a winner last time out for Misprint. He's 27%, 57.5%, 207. Now that, I really had to dig for that one. Second after the claim, winner last out. But I knew it would be good, but I wanted to put it in print.
You could probably spend a half a day looking for a stat that's not good for Dave Vlogs, and you might just have wasted 4 hours.
You make a great point, because I actually looked this up and said, maybe it's not that good, and it turned out it was good. He's trying to find something. Any moment, moves to the Carlos David bond, adds blinkers, hoping to close that gap between the top 2. They're good with new claims, 30%, Brian.
Yeah, they are, but the gap is pretty big. She's already lost to Breezy Bella twice. She did beat Misprint 2 back. The other thing that I wanted to mention, Misprint was essentially geared down at the end of that race too. So If you really want to be aggressive, you could just single her right off the rip here.
Second race this afternoon is a 5.5 on the Tapeta, and it's a starter optional claimer. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Clean slate in here, no scratches, jockey changes. Brian, you went with the number 3. Mo Light now, who's making her first start since winning her maiden race at Canterbury.
Canterbury back in August of 2024. So she needs to class up. She needs to face winners. She needs to do it off a long, long layoff. The works, though, especially they've been on the Tapeta. I love that. So Jenna's getting her ready here. They've been very, very strong. Now, they do work fast on the Tapeta. We get all that, but she's going to come back with Lasix. They bet her a little bit at Canterbury. Mac and the Robertsons win all those races there. So that's no surprise. I think she's interesting, and I like what Jenna's doing here. She's putting her in for 35. She's not running her in an allowance, an optional claimer. She's putting her in a spot where I think she probably fits in a starter optional claimer.
Number 7 is where I went bad. Party Girl is a lightning race 3-time winner, is hoping to bounce back. As she had that 2-race win streak going, it ended against those 25 starter allowance runners in her last. It's once again, here he goes, David Fawkes, Edwin Gonzalez. But I use Mo Light. Mo Light now on my ticket for all the reasons you mentioned, too. And I guess Get the Win, I had some interest, has speed. That's why I went with Get the Win on my ticket.
She's got speed, that's for sure. And the question is who's going to run with her. Hidden Agenda back on the Tapeta, the 4-horse, probably has some as well. But, you know, if they don't go with her, she might get clear in here.
And the Dove Rules, Saffie Joseph Jr. always got to give it a look. If there is a lot of speed, certainly looks like the one that can close.
Yeah, well, you're doing the last 7 races by yourself if she wins. As my partner says, we got tries. We got supers. Dennis is getting ready to run to the window here. What's her losses at? She hasn't won a race since 2024.
I am definitely going to have the try box in race number 3 today. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta allowance, optional claimer for 3-year-olds and up. I don't know what happened.
There he goes.
Scratch the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 7 in here. Very rarely do we have a 3-horse field. 5-1. You did the right thing, I guess, by singling Giant Teddy in here. I don't know what else could happen in here with Bandit Rocket, Gabaldon, Biz Buzz out.
We got a horse that was, I would assume, very likely going to be favored anyway. And now with a 3-year-old to his outside and a horse drawn poorly on the rail coming in off a layoff that's never run on Tapeta, you're looking at every bit of 1 to 5 on Giant Teddy.
Yeah, and that's David Fawkes again with 41% for the new claim. So that's 3 in a row for David Fawkes.
As you were talking, I said to myself, that's right. He could win the first 3 today.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good chance in this, especially in this one, unless the Grim Reaper for Joe Orsino, was at Colonial back in March. But before that, had one here going 7/8 of a mile on the dirt. Does this one never tried the all-weather?
Never tried it. A little spotty work tab, too. I got gaps there at the end of March, gaps in April as well on the rail. So not only are we talking about a horse that's never tried this surface, but he's taking all the worst of it, too, on the inside. Edgard and DJ teaming up, and Joe Orsino, they're quite a pair, but I don't know.
We'll take a short break. Both Brian and I will have a Rainbow Six ticket that we're going to show you with the mandatory payout. So we'll be back shortly.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Well, I think what My Racehorse does is it gives owners an opportunity to get involved in the game.
Very much enjoy sharing the barn visits and those big wins.
Straight no chaser in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
It allows everybody to come together to own a horse, whether you own a microfraction or you own 50%. It's the same feeling you get when they win.
I'm Dan Blacker.
I'm Saffie Joseph Jr.
I'm Todd Pletcher, a trainer for My Racehorse.
Sees the grade, wins the Preakness.
Welcome back. Race number 4 this afternoon. 6.5 furlongs on a fast main track today. These are claimers, 4-year-olds and up. Going to scratch the outside horse Oasis Prince. And as we've been mentioning throughout the yesterday, today, we have a video online. We got free PPs. We got all that good stuff. Mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six starting 4. Race 4 to 9. There you see it. 1.25 million. They're guesstimating, and Brian think that's a pretty good number. And free PPs today.
Yeah, I love it. We zipped along for these first 3 races because we've got a lot to talk about in the last 6. A lot of replays to show, tickets to show. Ronnie, why don't you take it away? You're the boss here with this rainbow.
Well, here is my rainbow, $86.40. Stepped it up. We'll talk about the 4th race in a moment after we talk about Brian's ticket. I went 4 deep in here, as you mentioned. I added, with the scratches, Sonny in Pieces, I added Dancing Miracle, but my top pick is Ball Up Top. A video will show that's the number 5. Race number 6, 3 deep for me. I went with Steel Sunshine, our old buddy on top. I think he's the one, but I don't trust him that much. Alexander Helios has got some class. I also used the 2 horse in there, Awesome Train for Antonio Sano. Race number 7, 4 deep for me. I think it's pretty wide open. Got my long shot. Lucy's Cooking. We'll show you stat with the owner-trainer Fernando Abreu with that horse. But I did go 4 deep using a bunch of other horses. I love this horse today, Floco. Got a jockey change today. It's going to be Sammy Camacho. I think it's the speed and the class. I hope I'm right with that horse in race number 8. And in the last race, it's just 5, 9, 8 for me to the hoop. As they say, Ghost Light on top for Safi. First after the trainer switch. We'll show you a stat for that. $86.40.
I've got the exact same numerical amount, but
right.
My ticket is different. You can see it here, 4 deep in that opening leg. Race number 5, I'm down on the inside, Dancing Miracle. We talked about that one, the 1 horse. Race 6, the 3 Racing Driver for me back at Gulfstream for Gustavo Delgado. Race number 7, this is my long shot. It's a stab. It's the 8 Lucy's Cookie.
That's my long shot.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I thought you were musical design for some
No.
reason. Okay. Well, maybe we're not getting 8 to 1 there. Yeah. I'm on the other horse in race 8 because I don't want to say it's a 2-horse race, but it looks like a 2-horse race. I'm on Frosty Bell as my best bet of the day off a demolition job last time.
Yeah.
In race 9, the only match we have is the morning line favorite, the 5. I'm on the 4, Mards Eats Oats. I played this horse last time. She ran okay. Now we're dropping. I also have the 5, of course, who's the house horse, and then the 2 Copper Creole as well. Mike Yates going good, by the way.
Yeah, what's that song? Marzi Oats, Oatsy Oats. You know that one, right?
No, I
you
don't
know that song. You used to sing it when you were a kid. Getting to this 4th race this afternoon where everything starts, the morning line favorite is Mr. Peaks, who I agree with. But, Brian, you went with the 5. Take it away with number 5. Let me see if I can say it again, but you say it first.
Sheebway.
Sheebway. I got to put that in my memory bank. Okay, tell me why.
Good post here. Big class drop. Jose Castro's going good again. I thought my best bet was getting home yesterday at 7-2, but it didn't happen. But the barn is still firing. Sheebway's got speed. We're dropping. And I think we all would agree that the morning line favorite should be favored, Mr. Peaks. He doesn't have to win this race, right?
No, he does not. And talking about your horse, Jose Castro, he's been 18% with that 61 to 180-day layup. Mr. Peaks is dropping to the 12-5 level with blinkers added, face better in consecutive sprints. That was on the dirt. It's Bo Chapman. I think he spots the gelding perfectly with these today. I think that's the key to where this horse is spotted. Saw Bo yesterday at the end of the day, and I didn't ask him about the horse, but he said hi. And I just think that this horse is going to run well. And now, would I single it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, we've got to see if there's anything left in Mr. Peaks' tank because he has not run at all in his last 2 starts. So maybe the drop is just what he needs, but there's also a chance maybe he's just not any good anymore. We'll find out today at 2:24 in the p.m.
Yeah, they're searching too by putting the blinkers on. Now, back on the chain gang, this, I think, video is 2 starts back.
Right, and this is, I think, is the only video you want to look at because the races surrounding this video are not good, but he was in at a mile against much tougher last time, and he dueled through a hellacious half mile, and he just shut it down. So he's back today with his friends, and he's back today sprinting, and he gave 1-5 Gallant Knight all he wanted and then some. There was no easy money in this race because back on the chain gang was there every step of the way with Gallant Knight. And the ladder had to call on his class, and he got the job done. I think maybe even back on the chain gang right about 5 seconds ago, stuck a nose in front. He couldn't see it out. That race run and that figure that he earned that day, well, that's going to put a big scare in these guys if he can do it again.
What do we get with Troops today? Did we look at this horse, blinkers off, first time in Carlos Perez's barn, was up in Tampa with John Vincent. We like the work that John Vincent was at 10-1. Do you got to use it? Do you use this horse?
I did. Yeah, so you popped him in there too. Yeah. You know I like Carlos Perez. Now, he hasn't even worked this horse, at least on paper, since he got him. John Vincent, as Ronnie says, does a good job over there in Tampa. There's maybe 2 or 3 funky horses in this sequence. I think Troops might be one of them. I'm going to make sure I got him.
Race 5 this afternoon. We're going to sprint at 5 1/2 furlongs on the all-weather surface. A maiden claimer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. As we mentioned at the top, when we were doing our tickets, a big scratch today with the 2 Sunny and Peaches, who was 9-5 on the morning line. I always did have Ball up top. How did you see it?
You can start it with. Yeah. We've got a video of Ball up top.
Yeah, we'll show the video. Let's start there.
This is a video of him running a distant second at 80 cents on the dollar, and I don't know. Well, here's Lily's question. I know Lily's question. The winner gets first run. But you could also argue that Ball up top got a pretty darn nice setup here. You got 2 horses dueling up front, and you're 80 cents on the dollar, and he's going to lose by 2 1/4 lengths. So I don't think this effort flatters him very much. He's going to be a big favorite now, right, Ron?
Yeah, he's going to be the big favorite.
With the horse coming out.
Those horses with 35,000.
Yeah.
A sharp connections drops him where the horse can win. He's got 2 seconds against 35. He's versatile. He can run on either surface. That's not the case. He's got to run on the Tapeta today. But I just think that he's going to run well. Once again, this is where I went 4 deep. So I'm not sold on him. But, Diego Herrera just seems to win multiple races every day. And we know how good Ken Sweezy is.
Yeah.
So I put him on top. But I had Sunny and Peaches all along in second. That doesn't matter. But you made a good case with the 1 Dancing Miracle. I think you have a work of his that you want to show.
This is the May 10th work on the Tapeta. This is the 47 flat bullet. It's solo, so it's sometimes a little tough to see what's going on here. It's the rail. I don't like that, obviously, but we've got an October layoff to deal with. But she's coming back with Lasix, and this is a work. She is well within herself here. You can see the ears are pricked. They didn't bet any amount of money on her at all in New York and at the Meadowlands on that turf kind of boutique meet they have there. And she didn't do a lot of running late. She did flash some speed early. Watch the tote board on her. I'd like to see her lower than this morning line with the scratch. I'd like to see her live in Taking Money. You play in this rainbow, take a look at the double wheel pace, see if she's live in Taking Money. I think she's kind of an interesting newcomer, Ronnie, and like you said, you found her a little bit too.
Both of those races were when she was a 2-year-old. So she's coming back as a 3-year-old and getting Lasix, because of course you don't run with Lasix when you're 2. So you can make a case for that. That was a good work back on May 10th. We talked about Ball on top. I got a couple of outside horses I had some interest in here, Brian, and that one of those was, I moved the 8 up. I originally had him in 3rd. And this one, I just found this horse interesting. It's Our Perfect Commander, who's dropping to the 25 level. What looks to me like her best surface for sure, after chasing the pace and fading against $35,000 types on the grass. Ronnie Coy's the trainer. Prentice Joba Torres in the saddle today. Does this one just scoot along? I mean, I didn't want to get beat by this horse. Now, with that said, I had it further down on the ticket. So I'm going to use him. I went 4 deep. I'm using your horse, but I think maybe a horse you might take another look at.
Yeah, I'm going to fade her a little bit, Ron, but I think it's a spread race because I don't trust the big favorite Ball up top. So I'm not going to fight anybody that wants to get her on the ticket. The one horse I want to talk about before we move on is the 10. Would I lie to you? A maiden special weight dropper, second off a long way off, moving to Nick Tomlinson, a daughter of Bouchero.
Oh, yeah.
And as we've talked about, Ronnie and I, over the last couple of weeks, because we've oddly enough seen some Boucheros go. I say oddly enough because he's in New York now. standing. She is very interesting. I would highly recommend you pop her on your ticket. As a daughter of Bouchero, as a big drop for Nick, who has shown a real penchant for taking horses and moving them up.
Talking about never running a step for John Vincent, never running a step, but you mentioned the breeding. That's always important.
Yep.
These Boucheros was one of the most amazing things that we've seen. When I remember,
Yes.
I remember today. I said the story a couple of times when the person who owned Bouchero came into our office. It's got to be 4, 5, 6 years ago, and he came in with the hats, the Bouchero hats.
Yeah, we got the vest.
And the vest, and we're going, well, okay. Boy, was I wrong. So
See, Harlan is see if he's out there. Usually he's watching. So
how you doing?
that's
Yeah.
good.
I need another vest if you're out there. Race 6 this afternoon. This is a mile and 16. So first finish line, Dennis. Allowance optional claimer for 3-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch the 4 Sir London. And you went with the 3 racing driver.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it. I just thought that it was dismal last time out.
Because you were correct. Actually bet him last time out. You got to kind of dig here, but I'm digging back to November the 16th when he won here at Gulfstream. It was a 1-turn mile. You can argue, I don't even think you need to argue. He has not had a fair chance since then. So he's back today in the first time he's had a legitimate winning chance. Why do I say that? 4 grade 3s, and then he caught Vibe, and that is Fierceness's little brother, who they paid $3 million for, who scratched yesterday because he's going to run in the grade 1 mile next week.
Right.
So racing driver's going to meet some dudes he likes today, and I think there's a lot of vulnerability in this field, Ron.
You know, Steel Sunshine, the number 6, is not afraid, or the Connection's not afraid to run against some serious horses. This horse was facing the likes of Superstar Knightsbridge, one of my favorite horses, and another horse, hard-knocking horse, Grande, before going to the sidelines in March for trainer Bobby DeBona. He's the son of Constitution, and I like the works in here, and I'm certainly not going to let this horse beat me.
He's the horse to beat. There's just no doubt about it, but what are we going to find from Steel Sunshine?
Right.
Now, to be fair to him, he's a lot like my pick. He's better than my pick, but the last time he had a fair chance, he did win.
Right.
And that was 5 starts back.
Right.
So this race goes through him. I'm not playing any kind of ticket that doesn't have Steel Sunshine on it.
The number 1, Alexander Helios, who runs well fresh, returns for for Safi Joseph Jr. So let's see that work of this horse.
He's got 2 XB TV works, and they're not the last 2. So maybe he's picked it up a little bit. But the one we're going to show you, he's working with Motown. We have that work, guys? There it is. He's working outside of her town, who's 2 for 5 lifetime. She's a 4-year-old filly, Ron, and maybe he's just not, I don't know. Maybe he's not a good workhorse. Nothing I saw in these 2 works did I see a horse that's going to win, be ready to roll off a long layoff like this. He's on the inside. They're not necessarily asking him for a lot here. I get that. He has not run since August the 22nd. He has not shown any signs of life since last February at Oaklawn when he won the Grade 3 Razorback. Safi scratched his stablemate, Sir London. That's always a positive, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a little leary of Alexander Helios.
Well,
today.
I know you wanted to show Captain Danny, this Chilean bred running here. I did not use him on my ticket.
I don't think you have to use him, but this is the Tampa win. He's kind of sort of all out at 50 cents on the dollar. He's had to go to Tampa to pick up his wins. He's 0 for 5 here. You can see him. He's under an all-out drive at 1-2 to get up and beat these guys here by 3/4 of a length. There's nothing in this race that would even threaten anybody in here, let alone win. So I think you're okay. I know it's a field of 5. I think you're okay just not using him, Ron.
Let's flip the page, go to race number 7 this afternoon. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta Starter optional claimer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. And both Brian and I's long shot is the number 8, Lucy's Cookie, who drops in for the $20,000 tag and returns to the Tapeta. Track the pace. Faded. That was against state bet allowance runners going 5 on the turf. I'll show you a stat. with Fernando Abreu, who owns and trains this horse, going from turf to Tapeta. Solid 17%, 41% in the money. Solid size, numbers, 88 starters, so it's good stat for me, Rajiv. Amazing, we're both on the same long shot.
We got the Nicoletti steam here now, but we better get at least 6 on this horse because she's looking up at a lot of these gals. She hasn't won in quite some time, but I think she's in with a puncher's chance. We're going to show you the favorites in a second. She might get set up. I don't know. Hopefully somebody can run with Happy Ride, because if they can't, we won't see her again.
Well, we'll show you the video first of Happy Ride, Roxy, and Musical Design. Happy Ride has been on quite a ride for Joe Orsino.
She really has. And what we're going to show you here is you have to question, why would Roxy or Musical Design turn the tables on her? Because Happy Ride is dueling inside of Wella Paloma, who had come in off 3 straight wins. They're both 8-5. If you want to talk perfect setup for horses behind, like Roxy, like Musical Design, this is the perfect setup. And they still couldn't make a dent into Happy Ride, who on paper in this race today, Ron, should not have to work as hard up front as she did in this spot. So it's just tough to think a horse like Roxy or a horse like Musical Design is going to be able to turn the tables on Happy Ride based on what we just showed you.
I remember, drum roll, we're going to show you that replay, going 5.5 on the Tapeta, the victory at 10 Clay. Last time this horse ran, I told everybody, I bet this horse every time. And I bet him last time, but he was even money. Not that I was looking to make money, but I always had interest in this horse, put it that way.
It's a big-time run here. It was a cut back, too. We talk all the time how it's difficult to cut back on the Tapeta after you've been routing on all those races. She did it, and she did it impressively. The waters are a lot deeper today. This is a tougher field today. She could be at the mercy of the pace today, but you get Carlos David, you get Miguel Vasquez, and you get a horse that is now, we know, in very, very good form sprinting on the Tapeta. It's tough to play a ticket without her, Ron.
Yeah, number 1 horse, and she is second choice on the morning line. And, of course, I didn't go that way. I did go with Roxy and Musical Design behind. I thought maybe they can grab a share, but Brian makes a great point with the number 1 drum roll. Here's where the fun happens here in race number 8, at least for Brian and I. 6.5 furlongs, fast main track, kicks off the coast to coast this afternoon. Allowance, state-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Going to scratch the 8. You, Me, Brother, and the jockey change on Floco. Sammy Camacho, but you like Frosty Bell, and show me why.
Yeah, I think your horse is probably going to be favored now. I like to bet Sammy, but here's Frosty Bell. She's going to win this race by 6 lengths. A little bit window dressing here. I get that, but this is just a horse in great form right now, because you can easily draw a line through the Tapeta route. She actually ran huge in the race on April 2nd because she had a complete there-off-you-lose trip, and she actually passed everyone she could. So to me, she's now put 2 huge races back to back. I get that she's getting set up here. I understand that, and I admit that. But she got set up, and she won by 6. It's a little more than just getting set up and winning by a half length and doing okay. Now, she does this the right way. 13-1 is long gone, but I am with her right back. I love what Colin Mirage is doing here. We're not in for a tag. We get to tackle state breds. And other than your horse, this is a tough group to trust, Ron.
Floco, my best bet of the afternoon, drops into the state bred allowance. So it's a state bred allowance after facing Superstar, Mythical, in his state-bred sophomore fillies here last time out, and Tessellate, another monster, in the 7 furlong sophomore fillies up at Tampa. To me, she looks like the speed of the speed in the race. We're getting Sammy Camacho today. Marcos Meneses had a fall. He's doing okay. He'll be back probably next week. We'll be in the saddle. I just think she's strictly the one to beat. Frosty Bell, yes, and it's only words. Will be tested for class. She's consistent, but she's no Floco in this race.
The only thing I'm going to add is, because everything you said is correct, and she could get loose in here. I'm me personally, because I picked Frosty Bell, I'm hoping the 3 Gervenstar can at least keep her honest early. But her claim to fame is getting the heck beat out of her by Mythical and Tessellate. It's not like she did any running in those races. That's all I'm saying. But she's a huge, huge threat in here. She only beat 2 other horses in those races, too.
We'll see how that plays. That's the fun part of
Yes.
this Rainbow Six when you try to get a single. Now, and by the way, the Coast to Coast starts. The flying
Wow,
pen.
you're excited about that Coast to Coast start.
Coast to Coast is going to start.
Thank goodness
in
you
that
got
race.
14 other pens.
Yeah, I'm okay with pens. Race, that was a good flying pen. Race number 9 this afternoon. 5.5 on the Tapeta Maiden Claimers for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch number 7, Kiss Me for Luck. And Brian's got Marzi Oats, Eat Oats on top for Marcus Vitale. Tell me about that one.
Played her last time on 30-35 on the turf. She ran actually okay, but not that kind of horse. We know that now. Well, now here she is at the bottom on Tapeta. She's got speed. She didn't break good last time. If she breaks today, I think she can get to the front in here. We're second off a layoff. We're on a drop. She's only run 1 time on Tapeta. It was way back earlier in her career. She's got a big bullet on April 19th, so she knows she handles the surface. I want to see her break today, and then I'll see if I can hold my breath for about 1 minute and 3 seconds and see if she can wire this field.
Number 5, Ghost Light, is where I went to moves to the Safi Joseph Jr. barn. It drops to the 12-5 level after failing to fire in a local debut. But that was 35 maidens going 5 on the Tapeta back in March. I want to show you first time in Safi's barn. Tapeta run as this is. We'll pop this stat up right now. Maybe this will help you decide. First after trainer switch, Tapeta 33% with a huge sampling, 61%, and Safi with a positive return of investment. You're getting Rashid Hughes in the saddle today. He's run a couple of good races here, so certainly the numbers are on this horse's side.
I think you did that Tuesday or Wednesday. I think that stat's now 23 for 68 because I think he did it yesterday too.
Oh,
on a
so
horse
there you
like
go.
That,
Yeah, so
that I
pump
tried
it
to
up.
beat that one for fun. This is going to be going to be an anchor on a lot of Rainbow Six tickets. A lot of people on a budget are going to single this horse at the end, and they're going to say, I hope I can just get through, and then you know what? I'll be alive to a heavy favorite in the last race.
You have it in
She's the horse to
second, and
beat.
maybe the
Absolutely.
number 9, Mesquita, is looking to make amends at 5.5 furlongs after rallying to finish 4th. I was the tepid favorite that day,
We got
going
it.
5. Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's show it.
This was as weak a 12-5 maiden claimer as we're going to run here, and it's not as good as this field. I promise you that. Vanessa's Wish actually runs second. Well, we talked about that big angle yesterday, 0 for 13, the charm. You had it with your best bet.
Yeah.
Maybe 0 for 21 is now the new charm because that's what Vanessa's Wish is trying to do today. How can you take a horse like this in a ticket? And Mesquita does no running whatsoever. So these 2 horses, if they win this race, I will not win this race, nor will I win the Rainbow Six, nor will I win the late pick 5. Ronnie's on the right horse. I'm stabbing a little bit.
Stabbing a little bit. That's the 9 for us, but we are not done. We still have our lightning round, and before we turn it over to Pete Aiella with all the changes on mandatory payout Sunday. The lightning round will be first. Who is first? Oh, we're going to talk about what we just talked about, that the mandatory payout and the free PPs.
Yeah, so you can just double those together because they go hand in hand. Everything's got to go today. A pool that should be comfortably over $1 million, and that's going to kick off in race number 4 today, and that is at 2:24-ish in the PM. And thank you again to our friends at the Daily Racing Form. They are on a day in, day out basis great to us, and they are great to you as well because there's free PPs out there. Get working.
We got the Sunset 6,
Yeah.
as we mentioned, and the
Coast to
Coast to Coast. Which one we coming up with first? Sunset 6, 3 and 3.
I was just going to say I was a little disappointed there was no carryovers,
There
but
is.
here you go. Carryover in the
Oh.
Sunset, and that's when they really start firing on that. And that was a big pool yesterday to have almost 16 in the carryover. So
Wow.
get involved there. Last 3 here, last 3 at Santa Anita.
And, of course, we have the Coast to Coast,
Yeah.
which starts in race number 8 today, and it's 2 hours and 26 minutes that I actually figured out all on my own today. Can't do it with my fingers like Brian does, but there's good sequence, and that kicks off in race number 8. So good luck with all your selections. Pick 5 pool already kicking in over $30,000. It's a beautiful day here in South Florida. And let's turn it over to a pretty handsome track announcer, Pete Aiello.
We're at Aftercare Alliance. We believe in giving